reaction to it.
Only got one trophy. Chris Thorne, Ricky Smith, Stan Shelton, Lyle Barnett.
All right. Stan.
Roll him in. Shelton double bulb.
Yeah, so you can't tell, but
out.
and if you
He's
can hear me,
already passed,
I'm in the car saying, "Stop, Stan, stop,
Now
stop!"
we
Like I can see him continuing to roll forward.
So
Shelton, he looks like he's rolling forward. It's hard to
my
see through the
assumption
crowd
is
down
he's
there.
not. He's
Ricky
lost
Smith
track
hasn't
of
pre-staged
what
yet.
lights are
He's looking at the wrong ball.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ricky hasn't even pre-staged yet, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Ricky's still rolling up. You're
Chad's
pre-staged,
checking
Lyle.
the wheelie bars. I mean,
Oh, here goes
Shelton
Stan.
actually
Checking
rolled
up.
all the way through the beginning. I can't see from where I'm standing. I apologize. Looks like
All right,
he
we're-
sort of got back, tried to get back.
we're
didn't
full
get
on
back.
calamity at this point. All right,
Oh,
so
man, are you kidding me?
It'd take a lot to set there, Lyle, with all that going
From
on.
the wild and wacky, Chris Thorne gets the win. 579. Lyle Barnett goes 599. Shelton apparently.
okay,
A lot going on there.
JT, pull the volume down and let it play again. And Lyle, I would really like for you to kind of take
Well,
it.
we
Don't
only
go
got
all the
one
way down.
trophy.
Just take it down a
Chris
little bit.
Thorne,
And
Ricky
Lyle, will you
Smith,
take us through this
Stan
here,
Shelton,
like what's going on in your car?
So I'd already turned the top bulb on
Roll
here and was
in.
waiting on everybody
Shelton
else,
double
and I
bulb.
saw Stan
Cody
go
backed
in,
out.
turn the second bulb
Let's roll
on, and I
back
was
in
like,
and try it
ballsy,
again.
but okay, first time. And then I'm like, oh, you're not done yet. So he keeps rolling, and I'm like, stop.
Shelton,
Justin's
he
on the
looks like he's
radio.
rolling forward.
Lyle
Hard to see
stands
through the
out. He's
crowd
already
down
rolled
there.
through,
Ricky
and
Smith
he's
hasn't
still rolling.
pre-staged yet.
Like
Yeah.
they come
Yeah.
up trying to grab the car, and he keeps rolling. Well, then all of a sudden, I see the nose of the car drop, and that thing backs up. Ricky goes in.
Oh, Shelton actually
Then
rolled all the
Stan
way
turns
through
his
the
bottom
beginning. I
bulb
can't
back
see
on.
from where I'm
Ricky
standing.
thinks
I
that's
apologize.
his.
Looks like he
Stan
got
takes
sort of
off,
got
so
back.
Ricky
Stan
takes
jumped.
off.
Yeah.
Me and Chris Thorne have been on the
Oh,
two-step
man, are you kidding me?
So you're
and-
on the two-step for about what? How long?
I
was
don't
it?
know.
10
You
seconds.
looked?
forever.
From the
Yeah,
wild
and
4
wacky,
minutes.
So,
Chris Thorne
and I didn't know
gets the
why
win.
it took so long for the tree to drop.
579. Lyle Barnett
And
goes
so I ran to the
599.
tower after the run and found Josh Peterson. And I'm like, dude, when Stan backed back into the bulb, did it restart the 7-second timer? And he said, no. When Stan pushed through, it took auto start out of play. Like it's no longer available. So the starter actually has to flip the
Manually
switch.
flip the switch and throw the drum.
And I think there was just like everybody else, the stands, every crew member, everybody except for me and Chris Thorne, I think, were totally confused as to what was going on. And I think the starter maybe forgot for a second that, oh, yeah, the sound of Lyle's transmission at 90 million degrees over there probably means I should flip the switch. And along with some other issues, which is why we slowed almost 2/10.
Well,
But
just
I
getting
think-
a green light on that run was a victory.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you even sat there for that long. Do you think that Stan did he? I can't tell from that video, but a lot of times you'll just roll in too far when you're trying to find the pre-stage beam,
Like
and
too
then
big
you're
of a bite.
dangerously close
Yeah.
to the stage beam, and then all of a sudden you're deep staged or worse. I mean, do you think that was like doomed from the start, or he was and he was looking at the wrong?
He
tree?
was looking at the wrong bulb the whole
Okay.
time. So if you're
Right.
looking, if you're in the middle 2 lanes, the people
That's
talk
the-
about this all the
yeah,
time.
it
You
is
look at the
harder.
wrong side of the tree, like the right bulb, but the wrong side of the tree itself. So you have to, and like, I think they had even put a sticker in there, but it was his first final. Like, I think that those guys, the Culp Lumber and the Shelton Motorsports team, did an awesome job all weekend.
Yep.
Stan had 0 mess ups until the final. But he was just looking at the wrong bulb.
I think
and
that's a good point. If you think about it, Lyle, you're in lane 2.
Yep.
And you're looking at your tree that's in the middle of your 2 lanes, but it's got 4 bulbs on it. And you're having to look at the second bulb from the left, which is on the left half of the tree, and you're in the right lane.
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
and so
that
I
would
would
be-
just, if I was in lane 2, like before I turned a bulb on, I would look to my left and right and be like, okay, I'm in lane 2, and then just stare at the bulb. I mean, you've got to, especially in the turbo car, you've got to be aware of what everybody else is doing. Wait for one person to go all the way in and then start spooling. And in the final in particular, for like a blip, everybody was in and I hadn't started. So then I grab the button and go to the wood, and then like 1's out and then 2's out, or lane 3 and then lane 2's out. And then there's no red light. There's no tree drop. So Chris Thorne and I are sitting there on the button forever. I think I had been fairly decent letting go all day long, and I think I was 150 letting go, and I think
you're
Chris Thorne
He was 340.
320. Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah. I mean,
I
and it's,
needed
I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around the whole situation. And I labored over this last night, like trying to write about it is extremely difficult because the last thing I want to do is vilify like Stan, because as you said, Lyle, he's done a fantastic job. He's a fresh face in this series. He's a great guy. I actually just got to hang out with him a little bit and get to know him this past weekend. And Mike and I were like, this dude's made for TV. He's a great guy. He's well-spoken, clean cut. This is a great fit for the series. And he's out here with a different combination. So you hate to pile on, but is the takeaway just that these are the calamities that are going to happen when you're racing four wide? I mean, for me.